What up? Episode 15 of Watch the Throne Fantasy Football. I actually remembered the number this time and I didn't have to question it. So I'm on top of things. We're on week 17 of the NFL.
You questioned it a little bit.
Finally nailed it.
Teenagers.
You questioned it a little bit.
Finally
oh my God.
it.
Our episodes are teenagers?
Yeah, they are.
Oh God.
They
You're
are.
in your teens right now.
You're
Learning your way. You're maturing.
We're
almost
getting there.
adults. We're almost adults.
You feel like you're adults, but you're not quite there yet.
Correct.
Today, you set your standard. If that standard's appropriate, it matters. You make today matter because you can build on that for the next day. I'm not talking about good, bad, whatever. Let's make it actually real.
The two usual suspects are here. And we have a new, unusual suspect today.
Murderer.
Yes. Whoa.
Tell him his name.
That was solid.
Tell the audience his name.
All right. You know me, Al. You know this man, Gabe. This is Gabe's brother, Aaron Hernandez.
That's right.
Murderer.
This would have been a good with the There it is. There it is.
Wow.
Good. I like it.
How big of a turn in your namesake was it when that happened? Like, I'm curious. I don't think we've ever really talked about it.
It wasn't really till he offed himself.
Okay.
And then it was, oh, you're Aaron Hernandez too? That's crazy. You believe you did that? He didn't. I get it, but I'm way older than him, so he got my name.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And then the weirdest thing was my mom calling me the day that she saw that she all of a sudden watches Sports Center, and she's a New England fan. So she's like, Aaron Hernandez dies. Yeah, even though she knew it wasn't me, just seeing my name on the thing, kind of freaked her out. But
that would be weird.
It's a little
as
weird.
a mom.
It's a little weird going on Netflix and seeing like the mind of Aaron Hernandez, and it's not me.
I remember the first time that I heard your name.
Yeah.
It was obviously prior to everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. He has the same name as the Patriots tight end.
Yeah.
Remember
now it is different.
Remember I used to work in the sports store? I have a memory that comes up on Facebook every now and then of the Aaron Hernandez jersey, and I took a picture of it and sent, tagged him in it.
Yeah.
It's pretty, and every time I see it now, it makes me laugh.
I was so proud for like 4 years because my name was in the NFL, and then it just got tarnished so hard.
It really did.
We used to joke he had to draft him.
That's right.
Like, why are you not drafting him?
Right.
I tried. No one ever let me.
Well, he went too soon.
Yeah.
But you're talking about he's been in the championship 3 years in a row.
That's right.
2021, 22, 23.
That's right.
2 of 3, so not bad.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I had to be the one to end that streak.
That's right.
This past weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it. We always say, the dream is to get in the championship.
That's right.
Brothers Bowl. But it is what it is.
It's only happened, twice?
We played one time in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I won.
Yeah.
I don't think we played in the playoffs. This is the second time in the playoffs that I remember.
Would you say
But I
that
advanced.
Yeah.
Would you say that the Hernandez brother games are better or more iconic than the Manning brother games?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
In our
I
eyes.
think so.
I agree.
Yeah.
In our eyes, it is.
I think we have better trash talk also.
Yeah.
Those guys are really vanilla.
Yeah. Well, if you do watch
That's
the Manning
racist.
podcast,
Yeah, once in a while.
it's pretty bad.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah, I don't like it.
When they have the Monday
Really?
Night Football, I'm not a big
into
fan
it.
of them.
the Manning cast?
Yeah.
I think something.
Okay.
Eli's really dry. I mean,
Yeah,
Peyton's okay, but
He tries.
That's what
Eli's
it
like
is.
painting on a wall,
Eli tried. Eli's like that awkward funny, though, I think. Like, when you ever seen the one where he tries to do the rap, he drops a bar about Tom Brady? He said, Tom Brady's the GOAT. Psych, I beat him twice or something
Yeah,
like that.
I've seen that one.
I mean, he tries. He tries,
I like Peyton. It's the same for me. I'll watch, and then I hear Eli talking, I'm like, mute.
Yeah.
Then his mouth stops moving, and I'm like, unmute. It's bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw an interesting fact about him that he never won a playoff game outside of those 2 Super Bowl runs.
He didn't.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those 2 Super Bowl runs, but besides that, he never won a playoff game.
He has 8 playoff wins
Yeah.
in those 2 years, and
Yeah.
that's it.
And that's it.
Wow,
Never-
what a nugget.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Fun fact.
I was kind of like,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Shocking.
Yeah,
But-
it is.
He's mid anyways.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah.
Well, we could do a whole podcast on me arguing.
Is Eli elite? Is Eli elite?
As a
I
Cowboy
remember
fan,
that. I remember
don't
that.
get me started.
Yeah, he never was. He never was.
Yeah.
He's a luckier Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'll spend the whole hour complaining about how he's not. So, but anyways,
So we have not done news and notes in the last couple episodes.
we haven't really had anything
Yeah,
in our defense.
we finally do.
Yeah, there's some big news.
Michael Penix Jr. named Falcons starter.
I'm excited.
We're going to start with Aaron on this one. I want to hear Aaron's take.
Go ahead, because I'm going to drop a bomb.
What does that do for fantasy implications? A. B, if you are in the playoffs, you probably don't need a quarterback, but do you pick up Penix Jr. and play him over whoever your quarterback is?
I think it's too early to tell, but I think his receivers face a drop-off right away. Like, I had Drake London. I wouldn't be happy that this week they went to Penix, even though Penix might be a better option at this moment. I more of a proven guy against an unproven guy. Even though, Cousins isn't the best quarterback around, he's still a proven guy. He's taken them to playoffs. I'm not sure you go to him right away, especially in the playoff hunt. I understand the move because you want to see what you got in Penix, and you're not for sure in the playoffs. Fantasy-wise, I just don't, unless you really need, like, maybe, you're in the semis and you have something going on and you need a backup, but I just don't see you going to Penix this deep in the playoffs, especially – they haven't lit it up on offense, and they run the ball so much. There's the Bijan. They lean on Bijan so much, and he's not really a runner either. He's a pocket passer, so I just don't see how he improves them right away. Maybe next week after, you give him a little rhythm, and he steps it up. But just this week, he's a little cautionary.
Well, you almost got to think that they're going to maybe lean more on the run with Penix's first.
They need to run the
NFL
ball more.
Start.
Yeah.
It was driving me crazy on Monday when they were moving the ball running and then 2nd and 3 play action pass and Kirk Cousins gets sacked.
Yeah.
It was driving me crazy.
So you think it downgrades the receivers, Drake London, Ray McLeod?
I think slightly. I just think the targets might still be there. I just don't think the accuracy in the reset. He's got to get time to get up to speed of the game, That's one thing that coming into week 16, you don't want to – you're throwing the guy to the wolves. These guys have been playing all season, and now you're throwing him in. He's got to pick up the rhythm right off the back and get into there. So
the timing is weird for sure. Gabe?
Does it make you feel better that he's playing the Giants, who just gave up 5 passing touchdowns to Lamar?
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about this because Kirk was a guy that you were a low-end star, maybe like quarterback 12.
508 yards one game this year, let us not forget.
Okay, so I'm actually looking at his game log right now. And I have the league open where it's 4 points per pass touchdown. He had 38 points and 31 points in 2 games, both of them against Tampa Bay.
Wow.
After that, his next highest is 20, which is against Philly, which is odd, in like the second game of the year. But he's just been single. He's had single digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times this year, which is not something you want out of your starting quarterback. Yeah. I'm excited for Penix. You're right. It's going to take some time. I don't think he's going to come in right away. I'm going to make a crazy prediction because that's what I do on here. I do think he gets 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
I think
all passing?
No, because he can run a little bit. He has some legs.
He might run one in.
He might run one in. But I think the Giants at home is a good opening game for him. Hey, go do what you can. They're 7-7. They don't control their own fate anyway for the playoffs. So you're going in saying, rookie, see what we got. Let's just, we know we don't have it with Kirk. I think we all know Kirk is kind of done. Yeah. I would say Kirk has been a really good quarterback the last few years. I think he's probably hitting that Peyton Manning where Peyton Manning just faded, his body went.
I think he's good where he's at right now. He's the transition quarter. He's a good starter.
He's a bridge quarterback.
You have a good rookie. You bring him along, and then once you think your rookie's ready, you bench Kirk Cousins.
But when you said his comments earlier, it makes me sound like he thinks he's still that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, he's got to think he's that guy.
Right.
Yeah, you do, but I think his body's gone. I think he's getting to that. He's an older guy. If I'm not mistaken, he's like 36 years old.
Yeah.
So he's getting to that point where his body's wear and tearing. He just came off a torn Achilles last season. I do believe that we've seen the end of Kirk Cousins being a starting fantasy quarterback. I do think he's on a new team next year. But I'm excited about Michael Penix. I want to see what he does. You have you have Drake London. You have Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. You're playing the Giants, who just gave up 5 touchdowns to Lamar, and I know Lamar's MVP. But I'm excited. I want to see what he can do.
Don't ever mention Kyle Pitts as a weapon. Ever again.
You're right. Again. You're right. My bad. No, you're right.
Sour Kyle Pitts owner.
You're totally right. But I do have a question.
Yeah.
So you guys mentioned, too, you're probably not starting him.
Yeah.
I picked up Michael Penix in my auction league.
Okay.
Yeah.
because my starting quarterback has been Bo Nix
And then
Jameis.
And then
Didn't
you have two that got
Kirk and Jameis.
Kirk and
I had
Jameis
Kirk
both
on the
got benched.
on the
Do you run
roster.
2 in that league?
No, it's a one. But Bo Nix, Jameis,
Oh,
Kirk.
Bo Nix is having a good year though.
Yeah, he's on and off. I just rotate the matchups.
You're about to ask, do you start Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr.?
Yes.
So weirdly, I had a hot take coming into this podcast too.
Ooh.
I think this is must start Bo Nix week.
Really?
I think after what Baker did, right? That was against Chargers. Am I wrong?
Yeah, he tore it up.
He torched them. Right?
Yes.
And I think Bo Nix is going to have a bounce back week. He's been a little bit not as good the last few weeks maybe. But I think that he in LA, correct?
Yes,
Yep.
correct.
It's a Thursday night game. We're going to talk about it, but I think it's a must start Bo Nix kind of week. I think he's going to have a Baker-esque performance.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Baker went ham, okay?
Wow.
He's going to have a rookie Baker-esque performance. You know what I'm saying? Like Baker light coming this week, I would say.
Okay. I like it.
So that's my
I do
hot
like.
take.
Well, and he had 21 against the Chargers last time they played. Bo Nix, so.
And how many weeks ago was that?
Oh, it was a couple months ago already.
Was it early in the season?
I got Bo Nix right
I
here.
do like the Falcons' weapons more than the Broncos' weapons. So I mean, there is that bonus
Right.
for Penix,
Yeah. Right.
but you're also
They're
you're
both
playing
playing
the
indoor.
Giants,
They're both playing
so,
indoor. They are playing the
Yeah,
Giants.
I mean, it's not a bad game to sharpen your teeth in. as
Yeah,
you
right.
say.
It's a nice warm up game. It was week 6.
So he wasn't quite
There
he
you go.
wasn't
Nix.
quite Bo at that.
The only
point.
thing that scares me though in that game, he had 60 rushing yards, and that's something you can't really.
He might do it again.
He could. No,
do it
absolutely.
again.
But I do think we're about to see the downfall of the Chargers. But we'll get into that when we get to that game.
Well, they're already on a slide as it is. So
Yep.
I mean,
We'll get into that though.
Oh,
their
Jimmy.
team's going in opposite directions at this point.
Yep.
We've been using Jim Harbaugh for sound bites at the beginning of almost every episode, and maybe I got to change it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you're cursing them.
I still miss him as a 49er coach. I think a couple more years he could have done something more, but it's okay.
Can we get the 49ers off the pocket? What? Can I get like a Cowboy fan here
No.
with me? Can I
No.
get?
No, nobody wants to hear that.
I don't even want to invite AJ because he's an Eagles fan.
Yeah, that's
John's a
worse.
Packers fan. Can I get someone who's like a Texans fan?
I have
Not even Texans.
You
Actually,
can
that's
invite
valid.
Vitorino. He's a Miami Dolphins fan.
I have a buddy.
He's
I have a
just
buddy
feeling
named-
sorry for Tua all the time. So I mean,
Josh is fine. Rams fan. I can live with that.
yeah.
I have a buddy named Sean. He's a Niner guy.
You could bring Ryan over. He's a Raider fan.
I don't mind the Raiders because they suck. So
And since the Raiders suck so bad, he's always watching other teams.
I mean, the Niners suck too, but they suck with us.
Well,
like
we suck
we're not
in a different way. Though.
we're-
We suck like we're in a downfall. The
Right.
Raiders suck like they've sucked for a long time.
right.
I'm officially not allowed to comment on the state of the Las Vegas Raiders.
I get it.
Jameis benched, DTR starting for the Browns. We'll start with Gabe this time. I think people were riding Jameis Winston into the playoffs. You were one of them. You just mentioned his
I did.
name.
I did bench him last week for Bo, so
Yeah.
I got lucky there.
And I think, he was starting to fade, so people might have done that. But
And you called Bo, so good shot.
he's a hard guy to let go of, I think, in fantasy circles because he kind of became the hero. What does this do to the Browns? You're definitely, in my opinion, you're not picking up GTR
No,
anywhere. You're
No.
not playing him anywhere.
no.
What does it do to the Browns' weaponry?
You got to downgrade them all, unfortunately. The only one I might give it in part of the news and notes, Nick Chubb out for the year.
Nick Chubb out for the year.
So I do think Jerome Ford is a nice improvement. I think because they're going to run the ball a lot. I do think they're going to have to pound the ball. Cincinnati's not a great defense, so it is a decent matchup this week. But Jerry Jeudy, he's wide receiver 6 right now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
The upgrade of Jeudy, and we almost made a trade. I would have given him likely for Jeudy.
Yeah.
Oh,
This was
That was
before
like-
Judy. This was when
This was like week 2 or 3.
yeah,
Whoa.
with what's
Yeah.
his name still playing.
Yeah. So
did you
with
have
Deshaun.
Judy still at the end of the year? You had him.
I've
You
had
kept
Judy
him?
the whole year, and then
Yeah.
when he started blowing up with Jameson, then
Yeah.
that's when I started starting him. But
Yeah. And that Monday night, I thought it was like, it's one game, whatever. But then he just kept going. I was
Yeah.
like, I should have traded for
I
Jeudy.
missed the first week. I wasn't on the first week.
Of course, no one was.
But after that,
Yeah. Well, my question then would be, how do you sit him right now? Do you? Can you?
The only way is if you have another legit weapon. Like right now, I would put Jerry Jeudy at best as a flex. I would feel comfortable with him in the flex, I guess, because I still think he's good for 10 in a PPR. I still think he can go get 5 and 50. But if you're going to expect those games where you just had with Jameis, it's not going to be there. He's not going to get 20. I think he'd be lucky to get a touchdown. DTR is just we root for him because he's a Vegas kid, but he's just not very good. And I mean, let's be real. The most I saw it earlier. The most fancy points he's ever had in a game is 13.
Let's say he hasn't been very good.
Fair.
'Cause from what
Fair.
we haven't seen him in a while.
This is fair, but I'm just not a fan, and I would downgrade everyone. Even against a bad Bengals defense, the only one I would be comfortable starting is Jerome Ford.
Yeah.
And then Judy, again, at the flex. Everyone else, I think even Njoku if he comes back.
Yeah.
Well, I think Cedric Tillman's supposed to come back as well, which could hurt Elijah Moore.
He's still not practicing.
I thought he practiced today.
Cedric Tillman did not practice.
Oh. That's on me. That's on me.
I did hear he might play, though.
Even
if he's not practicing.
But he's not a start.
It's early Wednesday, so.
He's not a start with
No, but-
DTRN.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he's got the concussion, so that's kind of hard. He's got to get out of the protocol. And once he gets out of the protocol, he'll be fine.
Well, let's use your roster for an example really quick. You had Judy. Would you have started him this week?
No, but I also have depth, so I probably
Who
would
else
not.
did you have? Because I like to do that. Where
So it was Zay Flowers, Drake London, Judy, and then my fourth was Juwan Jennings. But he did have a crapper of a game. I probably would have started him knowing that, coming into this week, Judy would have had – I still would have started Juwan Jennings over him, though.
Okay.
So those would have been my three. Even though last week Jennings and Purdy had a bad game, I think Purdy's pretty good at the bounce-back games.
It was a rainy game.
So you think
Well, that's his kryptonite.
It was rainy. And you'll be in Miami this week.
Yeah.
you would put Drake London in with Michael Penix over Judy with
I think
DTR.
I have a little more trust in Penix, even though he's unknown. From what I've seen of DTR, it's not been good.
That I'm gonna be honest. That gave me a headache. Just those Safe Flowers, London. I'm like, God, who do you
Especially
pick?
with Lamar maybe not playing.
And you got to sit one. God, who do you pick?
Yeah,
Lamar maybe not playing.
yeah. I heard something earlier that he might not play.
This week.
What?
This week.
No. What?
Pretty sure I heard something on ESPN saying that he might not play this week.
Stand by.
I just dropped my backup quarterback, Aaron Hernandez, murderer.
Hey, you told
Did
me.
you?
You told me to study all the games. I'm murdering it.
I had Russell Wilson. I dropped him.
I'm pretty sure I heard. That
that's fine.
He's probably gonna play, but I heard there's a chance. he may
CJ
not
Stroud is out there. I'm in a full tizzy now.
play. Yeah,
I'm spiraling.
I don't have anything on Lamar not playing.
it was something I heard
Yeah.
on a show. But
Are they talking about maybe because of the playoff seeding or something? Well,
No,
then even then,
it
they're
was
playing for
more-
the division.
it was. I think he had something niggling thing or something going on, but I don't think it's anything to worry about
I hope not, bro.
because
Come on.
it's just something they said
Yeah,
he
I
might
think,
not play.
think
but
that was
he's
some
gonna
wrong
play.
information. Whoever podcast said, don't watch them, watch us.
Clickbait.
Might have been.
Last news and note before we move into the games. David Montgomery out. We talked about how he's in the way of Jahmyr Gibbs
It just makes me sad.
all the time. Yeah,
He's just so solid.
he is. But this could unleash Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh my God. If this is a workhorse, Jahmyr Gibbs, I am so excited to see it. I'm so glad I don't play him in any leagues this week because Jahmyr Gibbs could go off. We've talked about it. If Jahmyr Gibbs was a workhorse, he'd probably be the number one pick. That guy is so special and so amazing. And then the run team, the Lions have probably the best offensive line. Well, them or the Eagles. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go crazy this week if he is the full workhorse. Now, you mentioned it before the show. I'm curious to see how they're working Craig Reynolds. I see kind of maybe like an 80-20 snap share.
Which would be
Still great.
Fantastic for Gibbs.
It's more than he's been getting with Montgomery.
Yeah.
So, if you're a Gibbs owner, you're super excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
especially in the red zone.
Do you want to hear the quick fun fact, and then I'll let Aaron chime in.
Yeah.
David Montgomery, his prop season total rushing yards was 775.5 or something like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
And he fell a half yard short. He ended with 70-75. He came into the game only needing 5 yards to beat it. He had 5 rushes for 4 yards.
Is he done for the year?
He's done for the year.
torn.
So
was
he-
it MCL or ACL?
MCL.
MCL.
Seems script.
That's what we.
That's what Darnell
we
said.
have our little group chat thing and
That seems
it was 774, 770.
Something like that. I don't know the exact number.
775 and a
is
half.
a torn MCL.
Towards MCL.
And
He'll
he-
be back for
But he
training
came-
camp,
he
and he'll be
came-
a brand new guy.
Correct, but he came into the game only needing 5 rushing yards to beat it.
and he got 4.
And he got 5
that-
carries for 4 yards.
That's what I'm saying. It's not. He's
the fix
gonna
was
be,
in.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Maybe.
He's
I
gonna be
believe
running
it.
around with his kids next week.
Or you know what's gonna happen is he'll be around for the playoff push. All of us, they'll have come up with some magic cure, and it wasn't a torn MCL; it was a sprained MCL.
Dude, if that really happened, we'd really have to question a lot of stuff at that point.
Dan Campbell made it seem like he's done for the year, though, even if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so Gibbs going into the last 2 weeks of fantasy playoffs, then
beautiful,
an absolute monster.
Number 1, number 2 running back every week.
Sweet. I have him 0 places.
Don't feel bad. I never had any of them either.
I don't have him either. But I don't play as long as I don't play against him. That's all I care about.
Yeah, if Ryan wins this week in Yahoo, I face him in week 17.
Yeah, he has him in CBS too.
Yeah, what a pick.
Yeah, well, he sat right there in both drafts to get him.
How the heck? Sorry.
Well, CBS.
Sorry, Ryan. How the heck is Ryan doing this?
You know,
Ryan B.
Yes.
Tells you the situation the fantasy is in this year.
Team 32?
Do you know who he reminds me of? Kind of like his luck is Chavez, where he just was like really not really that good, and then all of a sudden Chavez had that 1 year where he won it.
Yeah.
Like Ryan's doing the same thing. He's just all of a sudden like
he tells us every year, I'm not even here to really do fantasy. I'm just here to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
like bro, you could come hang out. You don't have to pay.
If he wins, then he can give us all our league fees back.
Yeah,
he can keep the trade money.
He probably won't. I've heard there's a rumor that he'll want to split the winnings because he's scared.
Oh, don't do that.
That's what I heard.
Can't do that.
I wouldn't even say a rumor. It's verified via me.
There you go.
He called me and said, if we're in the championship, you want to split it? And I said, no.
The only person I split with is the guy sitting across from me. Other than that, everyone else is fair game.
I think so. I think if it ends up being me and Josh in the championship, I'm gonna throw out like a little something for third place because we decided no third place. But I looked at the total we have and I'm like, we can give a little something.
We
for
had
third.
a lot of ad drops this year.
Yeah, there's close to $3,000.
So I think I still
you owe me $20.
$20. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I got my.
You owe me too.
Yeah, I got my fees in my pocket.
Yeah.
Commish, dude. He runs a tight ship.
Collect at the draft.
I like it.
He runs a tight ship.
You know
It's
what?
good.
I was so confident because of the last 3 years I did so well. I was waiting to pay you. I've had the money the whole year, but I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm going to make it. And then once I saw Purdy, I was like, let me start counting the money, getting it ready.
Yeah.
I think this year the $20 total that I owe is the lowest that I've ever owed.
Well, you paid at the draft.
Right, no, but I'm saying like usually I would pay at the draft. I would pay, and I would go over more. Yeah, I'd be like, you'd be like, hey, bro, you owe me 55. I'm like, how many pickups did I?
Yeah.
How bad was my team?
I'll send it to you.
I had so many ad drops with just kickers because so many injuries, and I've never seen so many injuries to kickers.
This has probably been the year with the most injuries to kicker. I was looking at the kicker list. IR. Like, what? Kickers?
I think I went through 3 and 4 weeks or something like that.
I like to stream defenses, which I quickly learned, like, okay, that's going to cost me money in this league.
Yes, it is.
So I didn't do that as much this year.
It probably would have been a good idea for me, though, because I ended up picking up the Lions defense, and they just went downhill as soon as I picked them up.
The trick is find the defense early that's really good and just stick with them.
Yeah, the rest of the year. Ride it out.
Try to, yeah.
Ride it out. Let's start with Thursday Night Football for our game-by-game breakdown. We mentioned Bo Nix already. I kind of want to talk a little bit more about him, but it's Denver at the Chargers, Thursday Night Football. Indoors, Bo Nix going to feast, I think.
I like it.
Yeah.
Jaleel McLaughlin's out, by the way.
Jaleel McLaughlin's out. Good touch.
So I think you can the problem with the Broncos running backs is so hard to tell who's going to be the running back. So, I mean, at least you have a 50-50 shot. It's either Javonte or Estime.
Mm-hmm.
But I would still stay away. Just there's got to be better options.
I think they'll split. I think they'll split carries. I think Estime getting more than 10 rushes he'll have more yards than Javonte Williams, which sucks to say because I'm a big Javonte Williams fan. I've always been.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
But he obviously finally is proving like, okay, he might not be the guy.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. So, but with no McLaughlin, like you're saying, Estime Javonte Williams, I think Cortland Sutton is going to pop off. Go off, girl.
Can I hear some numbers? Can I hear some Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton numbers?
Oh, you want me to guesstimate?
Just guesstimate, yeah.
You want me to guesstimate?
I mean, I threw out 3 touchdowns for Penix. I think, hey, you know what? Just give me touchdowns.
You did.
You don't need to do yards.
You did.
I don't need a completion percentage or anything.
I think Bo Nix quarterback rate. I'm just kidding. I think he will go over 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, over 50 rushing yards, and at least 1 rushing touchdown.
Wow, that's a monster game.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know it's bold.
I like it. Sutton gets one of those touchdowns?
Sutton will get one of the touchdowns.
I like it.
Devon Villea name to watch, but he's kind of fallen off. But this could be a bounce back game for him. But you're not starting him anywhere.
No. I think Nix and Sutton are the only ones.
Nick Sutton.
That's it.
And their
on the
defense.
Their defense. I do have
Their defense killed me last week.
That's the defense I picked up, and
I know.
I've actually been rolling with them in most of my leagues. They're a good
disgusting.
defense.
They are. Well, and then they're at home. Denver at home, even when they're bad.
It's in LA.
Wait, in
Oh,
LA.
it's in LA.
It's in
Oh,
LA.
Okay, then never mind.
But last time,
if it was at home, I would be less bullish on Bo Nix.
Okay.
I'm a big this time of year quarterback playing indoors. It's a plus for me.
you were right about Bo Nix last week over Jameis. I might have to listen to you again.
Bo Nix over Penix.
He's
I think
on the right.
It's a lock for me on
In
that.
the right direction. He's going up. The team's moving up. They're winning. They've won the last 4 in a row.
I'll check that
I
for
think it's the
you.
last 4 in a row.
Something
Yes,
like that.
they won 4 in
They're
a row.
doing great.
So I mean,
Aaron knows his stuff.
once in a while.
Last time, well, and so I will say for the listeners, our defensive scoring is a little different. It's a little higher in our league. But last time they played the Chargers, they only scored 10 fantasy points, but they didn't have Surtain in that game.
Yeah.
Which is a big factor.
They do have a lot of players out on defense though.
Who
Denver.
do you start on the Chargers side? Do you start that because that's you just mentioned Broncos defense?
I mean,
Do you start Gus Edwards at running back?
if you have to.
Yeah, running back is tough.
I mean, it's tough.
It's a tough matchup too.
And there's not a lot of depth at running back this season, anyways. I mean, it's feast or famine. So I mean, if you have to start him, you start him. But their defense is so good.
Oh, I got a good one for you that we talked about earlier. Lad McConkey
Lad McConkey.
or Jerry Jeudy.
I think you have to start McConkey, just because
Wow. I you know what? I agree with
the
him though.
starting quarterback.
Because I don't think Surtain's going to travel with him. Because Lad will be in the slot.
Yeah.
Surtain can. But I don't think you look at Lad and be like, oh, we have to shut him down.
No.
I think if you have Lad and Jerry Jeudy, I think you find a way to start both.
Okay, what if you have
Jamar Chase.
Chase and who can I don't know, number 2 wide receiver, T. Higgins. No, not Chase
I think
and
you
Higgins.
start Lad.
If you have Chase and oh God, I can't even think of a wide receiver too. That'd be like a solid Neighbors.
Yeah, see, I mean, I guess if it does come down to Lad or Jeudy,
Yeah.
Lad is probably a better start.
Herbert's not having a terrible year.
No.
He's not blowing it up, but his touchdown to interception ratio is pretty good. What I remember, it's like 16-2 or something like that. Right?
It was pretty good. He threw one this past week, but
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
But-
He I will say since J.K. Dobbins got hurt, this offense has kind of been tough. They've been hard to rely on. Gus Edwards, Lad McConkey was hurt. He got back this past week, but yeah, the Chargers offense, there's not a whole lot of fantasy points in this game, I don't believe. I think it's just a Thursday night game. And you'll have, like I have the defense, I have Bo Nix possibly, but
Yeah, you got to cover the Thursday night.
There's just
game.
more implications as far as real playoffs go for
Correct.
this one. That's
It is 16-2 touchdown, and Aaron knows what he's talking about.
yeah, no.
This is great. It's like we told him what games we're going to talk about.
something like that.
It's like we
almost
actually planned something this
It's
time.
almost like I studied or something.
Any other starts on that side of the ball? Quentin Johnston.
God, no.
He's an interesting flyer. No? Okay.
He's a boomer, but he's like starting Alec Pierce. No.
Even though
Okay.
Herbert's not having
mind the
it's
comp.
hard to start any of those guys because no one's blowing it up in fantasy.
None of them are must starts.
The last 2 weeks for Quentin Johnston, 7 targets, 5 catches, 48 yards, and a touchdown. The week after that, most previous week, 10 targets, 5 catches, 45 yards, and a touchdown. He scores a lot of touchdowns.
Now the one game was out without Lad, and then they did score. It was a competitive game early. Yeah, he's been doing okay, but it's hard to trust it against the Broncos. It's a bad matchup.
Maybe that's who Surtain shadows because
He is an outside receiver.
guy.
Yeah, take him away.
Yeah. Saturday games. Why are we playing on Saturday? I hate it. I work Saturday.
Do you know why? Because there's Christmas
Playoffs
games
or something?
No, it's Christmas games.
They're doing Christmas.
They're
games
playing
this
on
year?
Wednesday.
I was
That's
hoping
right.
they wouldn't.
That's right.
It's so stupid.
Why?
It's terrible.
Why NFL?
It's
Funny.
well, they asked Mahomes about it, and Mahomes is like 3 games in 11 days, and now with him, that was before the injury.
Yeah, now he's hurt.
But now
I always their injury reports I always take with a grain of salt.
Well,
I
he's-
like how Belichick used
he's
to
a
do it,
full participant, so he's gonna
Yeah,
play.
so-
He's gonna play.
and he has a high ankle sprain. So I don't supposedly.
But you know what's crazy? These first 3 games, and we're covering them because they're in the prime time
Yeah.
slots. they're all defensive games. Like the totals I think are all in like 42, 45. Like we're not expecting a whole lot of like I will say, and it sucks because there are some superstars that are playing. Kelsey, he's an elite tight end. He hasn't put up elite numbers, but you still start him no matter what.
Pacheco?
I wouldn't call him elite right now, just because he's still coming back from the injury.
Kelsey's not. He's having a decent year. I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
I think, but he's having a good year, but he's not having a Kelsey like year. So
Correct.
He's having a down year to us.
But it's almost like you can't bench him almost. Unless you have someone like Johnny Smith.
What, 2 better tight ends than him right now? Bowers and Kittle, maybe.
Bowers, Kittle,
Production wise,
Trey McBride.
McBride, has been coming up. Yeah, but
is Johnny Smith ahead of him actually?
I don't know. He might be.
Points wise?
Let me look.
I don't think I would. Even then, I'd still think I would take the name of Kelsey over Kelsey and Mahomes. Is kind of tough to go against.
Yeah,
as much as I hate them,
we've come across like Mahomes is fine to bench at this point. Like,
well, yeah,
he's not elite. It is a good matchup against Houston though, so he is someone you might be able to start. But here's my other hot take. Are you ready for my other hot take? Go ahead, say what I know you see it. Kelsey's what tight end 8?
Tight end 10.
10? Yeah, he hasn't had a great year.
Kittle, Bowers, Johnny Smith, Trey McBride,
Tucker Kraft,
Mark Andrews, Tucker Kraft, Sam Laporta, Freiermuth, K. Otten, Travis Kelce.
Sam Laporta has been better than Kelsey?
Yeah. So according to
CBS?
No, I'm on Fantasy Pros, top tight ends,
PPR?
weeks 1 through 15.
I was going to say he's got like 86 receptions
standard.
this year.
It's standard. Okay. PPR. Yeah, go to PPR.
You go to PPR.
He's fifth.
Okay.
It goes Bowers, McBride, Kittle, Johnny Smith, Travis
That
Kelce.
sounds more accurate.
Mark Andrews is 6th.
Andrews just gets a touchdown. One catch,
wild.
one touchdown every week.
Sorry.
Here's my other hot take. Hollywood Brown is coming back this week, I think.
Yeah, he practiced in full today.
If you're super desperate, I'm talking about if you're 5-9 and you snuck into the playoffs and somehow you're still alive, I think you can start Hollywood this week. I would start Hollywood if I'm desperate. Now let me I'm even take it a step further. I would start Hollywood over Jerry Jeudy and Lad McConkey.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know.
First game back of the year.
That is ridiculous.
Which one? Scary take.
Gabe's scary take of the week. Dude.
And I knew you would love this one. And I didn't want to say, I love not to say anything before the pod because I like to do your reaction on the podcast. Yeah. But I thought Marquise Brown was going to have a great year coming into the year, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
If he's going to play even give me 60% snaps, I think he's a starting flex.
Wow. Over Jeudy and McConkey?
I would start him over Jeudy and McConkey because I do believe there's a higher ceiling and a better matchup than McConkey and Jerry Jeudy.
The Steelers aren't a good matchup, are they?
No, the Chiefs are playing the Texans.
Sorry. Wow.
Oh, I've been doing it too because they all play like the Saturday teams play each other on Christmas. It's been throwing me off too. So you're not alone.
I'm literally looking and it says next game Chiefs Steelers.
That's Wednesday.
So
Yeah.
soon.
They haven't even played this game yet.
That's Christmas.
Right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
So that's my hot take and Mahomes I think is a starter.
Hollywood Brown? Are you picking him up anywhere and playing him?
No, I think over Jeudy maybe, but not over Lad.
Okay, if you're desperate. Now here's the thing.
Well,
I wouldn't. Okay, I don't
you're
think
talking
I'd
desperate. You're talking like you have no other options. You got 2 good running backs, 2 good receivers, and nothing behind it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
but if you've made the
and
playoffs,
I know it's playoffs,
you should have deeper team than that.
Are you saying if your third wide receiver is Romeo Doubs or Jaden Reed or
Deebo
or
Samuel
McMillan from Tampa Bay, you would play him over those guys?
No, because we'll get to. I like one of them.
Okay.
So no, I wouldn't start him over one of them.
That's my scenario.
But I will say the other two is possible, depending on the weather.
Yeah. No,
So-
I think I put
You picking up what I'm putting down?
I put McMillan in.
Yeah,
So
I would
that's
too.
Probably where I'll
Spoiler
probably
alert.
where I'll land.
Spoiler alert.
I keep forgetting about our mailbag question. We'll get to it.
Did we talk about the team already that we had the mailbag question, or did we?
He actually has 4 starting quarterbacks.
Oh my
He
gosh!
has 4 quarterbacks, and he needs to pick, I think, 1.
Is any of them Mahomes or CJ Stroud?
One of them is Bo Nix.
Oh, let's go. Okay, let's do it real quick because are we going to talk about it in a game coming up?
It's mailbag. It is.
Bo Nix. That's
I have 4 quarterbacks on my roster this week. It's from It's from longtime listener J Mart.
Let's go, Jay. Shout out to J Mart.
J-Mart.
Sorry for hitting it at 34 minutes and 38 seconds in, but hopefully you're still here.
That's how we make him watch the whole thing.
That's right. Keep him wanting more.
No clue who I'm going to start. Rodgers, Purdy, Nix, Stafford. Who do you recommend?
Oh, my gosh.
Rodgers, Purdy, Nix, Stafford. Rodgers and Stafford play
Rodgers
each
against the
other
Rams, yeah.
in New York.
Purdy against the Dolphins.
And Bo against the Chargers.
I think I'd go Bo.
I don't know. I think I think I'd be a homer. Plus the stats for Purdy say every time he's had a bad game, his bounce back games have been really well. He's been the game after Buffalo, he did good. He did have a stinker again the game after that against the Rams, but every game that he does bad, the next game he does pretty well in. But I could make the argument for Nix too. It'd either be Purdy or Nix.
Purdy or Nix?
Yeah.
No Rodgers at all.
No, I've watched because I've had Breece Hall all year. I've watched the Jets. I just do not have any confidence in them. The receivers maybe, but he just looks so physically inept now.
Old?
Yeah. I didn't want to say old because I'm older than him, but
it is kind of wild, right? We're at that age where it's like, and we're older than these dudes in the NFL that are getting called old.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, I wish he was still what he was because I did like watching him when he was a Packer.
Oh yeah.
But you can tell there's just a drop off, and it's not his fault. He's 39. He's coming off a torn Achilles.
Dude, he's 41.
41. Dang.
41. Are you still older?
We're the same age.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't think you.
I don't feel so bad now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 41. But his last 2 weeks, 289 and 3 touchdowns last week. The week before, 339 and a touchdown.
Well, he's got weapons.
But the 3 weeks before that, 185, 184, 151.
Yeah.
You could talk me into Rodgers, but I mean, he had a great game against Jacksonville, which is terrible defense.
Yep.
I will say Rams on, again, 4-point passing per touchdown. They're 8th most against or they allow the 8th most points to quarterbacks. The Rams do. The only thing I would be concerned about, too, is in New York, maybe possible weather. At least in Denver, it's in Dome. Or Bo Nix, I'm sorry.
Yep. I told him
I would go Bo or Aaron Rodgers.
I replied back to him, Nix or Stafford. He said, I was leaning the other two guys.
Nixon. Oh, he was leaning Rodgers and Purdy?
Purdy, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, you're kind of torn. Out of those two, I'd go Rodgers for sure. I know what Aaron said about Purdy, but I have a hard time trusting the Niners right now. And it's let's be real. I know you guys are fans, but it's an avalanche of what over there.
It's been a tough season. We're in a bad way right now.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Put your name on one of those four. Who you starting?
Purdy.
Okay. Mine is an obvious Bo Nix.
I'll play devil's advocate and then go Rodgers then. But I was gonna say Bo too.
Not gonna help him at all.
I was gonna say Bo. Well, he knows not to start Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford's out.
Which actually he'll probably be the best of all four.
Stop that.
Let me give you my Purdy stat.
Yeah.
In 4 of his 5 games after a loss, Purdy has scored at least 26.1 fantasy points.
Wow.
So that's why
That's a stat.
Seeing that earlier I saw that and I go, maybe I might start Purdy. But only because, like I said, every time he's had a bad game, he's had a good
Now,
game.
how about the travel across the country stuff?
You've had an extra couple days off.
I also think Miami's a little soft.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Having seen them all year, they're kind of a softer team.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're traveling to Pittsburgh or Baltimore.
Yeah, to play rock 'em, sock 'em. Yeah.
So you're traveling to a Miami team who likes to play fast.
The
and
finesse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different. We're kind of getting them at the right time.
Okay.
I feel like.
Okay.
But
they are they officially eliminated?
Not officially.
No, not officially.
Oh, they have their
who you
must
talking
win.
about?
We're must win.
Miami.
The Dolphins,
both of you guys? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it is a must win for both sides.
Yeah.
For me, it's Bo Nix. I think he's when I told J Mart that, he said I started a Thursday night quarterback last week and it screwed me. He probably started
Killed
Purdy.
me. Yeah.
Would it make any difference? Now I'm gonna play again a little devil's advocate, but then I'm also gonna play devil's advocate against my devil's advocate. 4-point passing touchdown. Miami's actually given up the least amount of points to quarterbacks. But here's my devil's advocate to that. Here's the quarterbacks they played: Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, solid; Geno Smith, Will Levis, Drake May, Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen again, props; Matthew Stafford, Aiden O'Connell, Drake May, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers,
All stars.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, so their quarterback competition hasn't been
It hasn't been great. So
top-notch.
don't always go by. So that's kind of me backing up what Aaron's saying. Brock Purdy's not a terrible option. Don't always look at what the points are allowed.
Yeah.
Kind of got to dig deeper sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All
once in a while too, it's a what you feel kind of thing too, and how you look at the teams and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
That was our first ever mailbag question. Thank you, J-Mart.
Let's go.
Thank you, J-Mart. Yeah, shout out J-Mart.
there you go.
Start Bo Nix, bro. Don't be fooled.
I could see how you wouldn't want to start Purdy after last week too, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a little nervous about him. That's all.
I totally get it.
That's a hell of a stat, though.
That is one hell of a
That's
stat.
one
Yeah.
hell of a stat.
That's a good one.
Let's move on from Houston, Kansas City. Let's go to the other Saturday game. We're ready to move on.
Yes.
Or- We didn't talk Houston at all.
Oh, we didn't.
Stroud?
He's a little bit of a
No.
disappointment for me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
He's on
starting
the waiver
Stroud.
wire in the league. I
I'm
told
not
you.
starting Stroud.
Joe Mixon.
He's injured. He might not
Sorry.
even play.
I was going to say, I'm not
Do you
sure
guys
he's
think
playing.
Stroud will ever actually reach his potential?
I do.
Do you?
I think he could. This year's not been it, but I think
Kind
he.
of
I think he's.
slump kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
I think this offseason he's
It's been a weird year for them.
Yeah.
he seems like he really wants to be that guy. So I think this offseason he's going to really
What doesn't make
hunker
sense.
himself down. And
What doesn't make sense to me is Joe Mixon was having a great year. Nico was having a great year before he got hurt.
Diggs was having a good
Diggs was having a good year. It's like they're having good years, but it's like C.J. Stroud was struggling. Tank Dell's obviously falling off.
just didn't look right.
They're just a weird offense. Yeah, there's just something's not going well there.
they
But I do like
also-
C.J. Stroud in the future.
They also won their division. Like,
Yeah, they clinched the
so
division.
it's like
They're a good team. They're just not living to their full potential.
he's got 3,248 yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Yeah.
He's
on
missing the
season.
touchdowns. He should have about 25.
The touchdowns he's missing, and I think his accuracy is a little bit
His picks,
a little bit worse.
picks
than
are
it
a
was
little
last
high
year.
too.
Yeah,
I wonder who the coordinator is there. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Maybe they need a new coordinator. That would be my first guess.
Maybe.
I think he's going to be all right going.
You don't want
into
to change
next year.
coordinator on a young quarterback too many times.
Well, no, but not. Yeah, I mean, going into next year, depending. I mean, it just depends who it is. But I'm
Nico
not a
is
fan.
an obvious start.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is a tough matchup.
I think Mixon and Nico you got to start him.
If Mixon plays, you have to start him.
Yeah,
Um,
that's about it.
that's really it. I'm starting Marquise Brown over Tank Dell.
I was going to say, don't say Nico.
No.
I was
no,
going to
no.
throw my hat
No.
up at the end of the episode.
No, I'm not that crazy. No, not Nico. Nico, I have Nico in one league that I'm still. By the way, I'll get to it at the end. I would start Hollywood and DeAndre. Also, I'm going back to the Chiefs side of the
DeAndre
ball.
Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins, revenge game.
Yeah.
But again, this is a game that's not a lot of fantasy points. It's good, two good defenses, and so I think we see a defensive game.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't panic. The crappy thing is you have to start all your stars. You can't sit Nico. You can't sit Kelsey. You can't sit. We'll get to it in a minute. Lamar and Derrick Henry, but you have to start these guys.
Yeah. Are you? We already asked about Pacheco, but we didn't say if you're absolutely starting him. He's not been great since he came back from injury, but
I'd sit him if I can.
yeah.
If I can.
Okay. All right, saying on Saturday, so we can wrap up Saturday, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson. We had that crazy thing that Aaron said earlier.
Yeah.
We hope it's not true.
We confirmed it's not.
Okay, confirmed it's
We
not
confirmed
true.
it's not true.
Okay, all right.
It's a rumor.
It's something
Nothing
that
concrete.
somebody who has a terrible podcast.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. I've never actually watched it. I'm just trying to plug ours in,
Yes.
So,
for sure.
but yeah, false information.
So it's Pittsburgh at
You're
Baltimore.
mongering.
Pittsburgh at Baltimore. We'll start on the Pittsburgh side of the ball since they're the away team and the team I said first.
Why?
Are we starting anybody?
No, because George
on that
Pickens is
side?
out.
No Pickens.
I think George Pickens is gonna be out. He hasn't practiced the last 2 days.
No Russ Dub. Even though Baltimore's defense against quarterbacks is like
He's had
really
one good
bad.
game. He's
True.
had one good game this year.
Okay.
But they don't have George Pickens.
Goes back to what you're saying about don't pay attention to the
You know what?
position against them.
Let me rephrase. There's one player I think I'd start. Pat Fryermuth.
Patty French fries.
I would start Pat.
I like Pat.
If you don't have one of the top 5 tight ends, he's a
Yeah.
streaming option.
Solid.
I wouldn't even know if – I mean, if you're in the playoffs, you might have you might already just be owning him, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, true. But I'm going to throw out it. This is where I'm going to plug in my my third bomb of the day. Brenton Strange.
Oh, jeez.
I would start Brenton Strange over Fryermuth. But 12 targets last week, 11 catches.
Mac Jones does throw to him a lot, right?
In 5 games without
Trevor Lawrence.
Evan Ingram. No, Evan Ingram.
Yep.
He scored in 3 of those games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Brenton Strange. Just remember the name. We're talking tight ends. I had to give a plug to him real quick because we're not going to talk Jaguars and Raiders.
It's just a strange name.
It is, but stranger things have happened.
There's always one guy that the backup quarterback loves.
Yeah. And it's usually a tight end.
Yes.
Nice.
Let's do that again because that was
Nice.
There we go. Wires getting in
Dude,
the way.
the soundboard is on point tonight.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
The soundboard
they're
is
labeled.
on point.
We do need to change this one. We gotta do something.
Yes.
We should do. I have ideas. We'll talk after the podcast.
Okay.
But anyways,
No one else. No Najee Harris. Is Najee playing this week? I'm not.
yeah, he is.
He probably is, but I've
No
I've
Najee.
never
No
liked him.
Warren. Me either.
I possibly, if there's not better options out there, the Steelers defense.
Jalen Warren as a flex? No. Wow.
I'd rather start Najee.
PPR.
No,
Wow.
I'd rather start Najee
Okay.
because at least he might get a touchdown.
Let's go to Baltimore side of the ball. Who are you starting over there?
Not Lamar.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Nah,
Oh,
well,
no. Oh, you know
Actually,
what?
No, this is serious.
I'm sorry. I totally forgot about it. Go ahead. Drop
this
the
is
bomb.
serious.
This is going to be an Aaron bomb.
The
You
question
dropped
was the question that I had was, seeing as it's playoff weekend, you're winning. You need to win to make it to the championship.
Absolute must
Knowing
win.
Lamar's struggles against Pittsburgh, do you start Lamar?
It just
is-
depends who your backup is. But
It is the game where he scored the least amount of fantasy points
Yes.
so far this season.
Yes.
yes,
Historically,
It's
he
a
is
tough
bad
matchup.
against them.
and you're right. So you brought that up. He's been quarterback 1 the whole year.
Yeah.
You better have a damn good backup and like a good matchup. Like earlier, you brought it up. I have a league with Lamar and Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, do I start Baker?
Oh.
And you guys kind of entertained it.
I'm kind of in you go with the horse, the horse
Yeah.
that got you there, but I could see the argument against, just because what if it is the one game where he, doesn't do well, and now you're like, dang, man, I had the backup there.
You're either going to look like a genius or a donkey.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Well, I mean, in your case, I think having 2 good ones, you're
Yeah.
kind of not missing out, but
I was
Yeah.
going to say, if you were to play, let's say you put Baker Mayfield in, and he gets you 26 points, and you sit Lamar, and Lamar gets you 28, how mad are you?
I'm not that
A
mad.
2-point
And not at that
difference?
point, unless I lose by 2. Unless I lose by 1 point, then I'm mad. But I hear what you're saying. Lamar, and he has been terrible against Pittsburgh. You have to limit your expectations for Lamar. But it's Lamar Jackson.
How do you sit him?
And-
Earlier off air I said Baker, but how do you sit Lamar?
It's
And
tough.
if TJ Watt is out, that's a huge help. I think if TJ Watt's out, you have to leave Lamar in. But I'm with you on limit expectations. I don't know if I can go as far as sit him, but you have to limit expect. Don't expect Lamar. You better hope you have some pretty good other matchups.
yeah.
Because I feel like every league I'm in, the team with Lamar is still in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lamar is one of those fantasy teams. Like, remember before the season started, possible fantasy
MVP?
MVPs.
Mhm.
Lamar's in there.
No doubt.
Well, he's having a really good year.
Yeah.
Quarterback number 1.
An
Him,
insane
Jared
year.
Allen. I mean, you look at ours in our league, the guys that are left have the elite quarterbacks left. So
Did you say Jared Allen?
He meant
What did I say?
Josh.
I know who you meant, but I was like, did he say Jared Allen?
You did.
God,
I did
I haven't
say
heard that
Jared
name
Allen.
in forever.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh no, I think
center.
I think he was going with defensive
Minnesota
end.
Vikings
Yeah,
defensive
I
end.
know.
I was like Jared Allen.
There's
Number
more than
69.
one.
That's Jarrett
Jarrett. You're right with the T.
with the T's.
You're right, you're right.
2 T's.
We know
But-
all sports. We know ball.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
We know puck.
If it's round or oval shaped, good.
Yeah. We don't know puck.
somewhat. I know a lot of pucks from
we
the,
support
the
the Knights.
late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay. Okay.
We support
so.
the Knights.
Yeah. Go Knights, go.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all I can tell you.
They're having a down year, though.
No,
Are
they're
we-
doing okay.
Considering the other years we've had.
Yeah.
To Golden Knights standard.
Yes.
Are we starting every other Ravens player that you've been starting,
Derrick Henry, absolutely.
i.e. Derrick Henry?
And even though he was
I think
disappointing,
Zay Flowers is a start.
Yep.
he's always capable of good games. That's the thing.
Mark Andrews.
You're going to start wide receiver 2 over wide receiver 1 in Baltimore?
I do.
Rashad Bateman?
He might not even play. Too? Isn't he questionable?
I think he's okay, but Bateman,
Hey,
he's one of those guys. You just gotta get lucky. You throw a dart, you never know with Bateman. I'm giving a hard time, but Zay Flowers is the guy. Yeah, I will say, Zay Flowers might be a guy that's easier to bench than Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Bateman was added to the injury report today.
Ooh, with what?
Due to a foot injury today on Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's not good.
But I will say, he's a tough start because 5 targets, 3 targets. I'm not sure he played against Philadelphia.
Touchdown.
0 targets.
No, he played.
Okay. And then 5 targets. So they
didn't do a lot against.
Yeah.
He's touchdown dependent.
I don't think you can play Bateman in this matchup.
Zay's a good start, I think, just because he's always got that possibility.
The dude's explosive.
I love him.
Yeah,
he's quietly a solid flex.
How about, speaking of flexes, is this a week that Justice Hill could serve a purpose in a flex if you need that spot filled?
If you're in a deeper league, sure, like 14-team league, or you've got, start 5 running backs or whatever. I don't know. Just a crazy league. I don't know.
If you start 7
in a crazy league,
backs.
in a crazy desperate way, yes, he could be, but he'd probably be around RB like 30 for me.
You got to love how I drop these guys. You hate it. You're like, why are we talking?
Yeah.
Half the guys I name, he's like, why'd you even bring
But
them
you know what? I feel like you brought this because we did hear something. Oh, I heard something. I don't know if you heard this too, but he has an incentive. He's actually playing for some extra money here with some catches and yards.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, he had 5 catches for 61 yards last week in a tut.
I think he's like 10 catches away and like 300 yards total.
And Harbaugh's a player's coach, so he wants him to get that.
I also have this theory that they're kind of resting Derrick Henry for the playoffs.
I could see that.
Because last week it was he only had 67 yards. He only had 67 yards against the Giants. Right. And I have him in 2 leagues. I was expecting way more. And luckily I won both those leagues, but still I was expecting more.
Or at least limiting him. You don't want him to get hurt pre-playoff.
I wonder what he had against Pittsburgh.
He's got a lot of carries on his body right now.
Yeah.
I got you on the game log for Derrick Henry.
But yeah, I think and then Mark Andrews.
He had 13 rushes for 65 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. That's double digits.
Yeah.
It's
only 13 rushes is kind of wild.
That is low.
Yeah. That's a Steelers Ravens game.
But they have to win. This is for the division almost.
Yeah.
Their Steelers are a game ahead. So Baltimore has to win this game.
This is the exact opposite of what Aaron was saying earlier with the San Francisco-Miami game where it's soft. This is
the tough game.
Yeah.
This is
the toughest game.
13-10.
Old school AFC North.
Yeah. It's brutal when these
13-10 ball game probably. But hope not. Well, I have Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Lamar, please.
We need like 28 to 10.
See, the more we talk about it, now it's like, okay, maybe you do start Baker.
I
you got to factor in it's cold too.
It's cold.
They always have knockout, drag down games.
Yep.
I know.
Ugly.
You're not wrong, but it's just my gosh.
It's some of the ugliest football to watch, but it's also some of the nicest football to watch.
You're either like I said, you're either the smartest player ever, or you're just a donkey that just deserves to lose. There's no in between.
It is an entertaining football game for sure. Every time they get together.
I think you question yourself though if you don't start Lamar and then Lamar has a decent game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He also fumbled last. So he only had 10.5 points last time.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah. I'm like, why 10.5? He scored in 60 yards, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to roll out Derrick Henry, and if you roll out Derrick Henry, you got to roll out Lamar. They got you here.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
You have to. The tight ends are so
tight end economy
shallow. You have to start them.
We called it the tight end economy.
It's
economy.
Bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's a bad economy right now.
It's been real bad.
Brenton Strange.
Moving on to Sunday, finally. Yeah. Philadelphia at Washington. That's the game we can cover.
It's a fun matchup.
It is, and it's. Is there implications for that playoff wise?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For that division?
No. Well.
Or just wild card?
I think wild card for Washington, right?
Yeah.
They're 2 games behind, so if they beat them, they'll be a game behind. I don't
see Philadelphia dropping too many more games from here.
No.
They've been playing pretty solid.
Yeah.
Washington. I think they finished with the division. Washington, Dallas, New York.
Okay, I got you.
Philly finishes.
Yeah.
Should go 3-0.
Yeah.
Should go 3-0.
You would think, or at least 2-1.
They should go 3-0. There's a lot of starters in this league or this game though.
Yeah, start on the Eagles side of the ball.
Jalen Hurts,
Yep.
Saquon,
Yep.
Devontae, AJ Brown.
Yep.
All those guys are must starts. I think Devontae proved himself last week. I'm curious, and I hope you're looking up the game log from last time they played. But I do remember the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken, had a good one. Saquon had a really good game against the Washington Commanders. He got a little banged up last week, though. That's something to keep an eye on. And this is the tricky part of fantasy playoff. It's one play away from your star getting hurt.
Yep.
And I can see why Ryan Bobrowski is a little worried now. I'm sorry, name dropped first and last name. Jesus.
Government.
Sorry. I'm used to calling him that because we have two Ryans in our league. I'm sorry.
Ryan B.
Yeah, Ryan O, Ryan B.
You
Sorry.
almost have to drop Ryan's name too.
Oh, man.
No.
Sorry. But so Saquon's a little concerning. I will say that. If I'm a Saquon owner, go get Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah.
He's been pretty solid these last couple weeks. And then I think they are trying to prove Jalen Hurts is worthy after the drama with A.J. Brown that he can pass the ball. So I do like the Eagles side of the ball. Washington's not a great defense. They're an average defense, so there's going to be points had there.
6 targets, 4 receptions, 29 yards for Devonta last time.
And a touchdown?
Faced off.
No
And
touchdown.
0 tut.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's been showing up
I
last.
want to say that was a close game too, wasn't it?
26-18.
But it was down to the last drive, if I
Oh,
remember right.
Yeah.
No, it was a Thursday night game, right?
11-14.
That was a Thursday night game.
Yep, Thursday night.
So no, because they were up ahead 16, and then Washington scored at the end.
8 targets, 5 catches, 65 yards for A.J. Brown in that game.
But Saquon went crazy.
Saquon went ham, yeah.
Saquon, if I'm not mistaken, had like 2 touchdowns,
That was
125 yards.
That was that game.
Yeah, I remember watching this game at Durango.
Durango Casino?
Yeah.
He's
Shout out to
wireless.
Durango. Shout out to Stations. We need a sponsor.
Plug. 26 carries, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dude, the
Boom.
next week,
But-
26, 255, and Saquon.
But you know what's crazy? I don't think he repeats that because I think he is hurt a little bit. I think they're going to watch his. I think he's another one they're saving for the playoffs.
I would.
There's no injury report on him.
No.
Even in the game, Sirianni said, there was nothing. That Kenneth Gainwell's our 2-minute back.
But it still seemed
But he was out almost the whole second quarter.
It still seemed weird.
Yeah. Hella sucks.
I think you're going to see him getting limited carries now because they've pretty much clinched the playoff spot, and you want Saquon in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need him for the last 3 games, especially you're playing your division games. You're going to wrap that up. Yeah.
That's kind of tough when you're in fantasy playoffs and you have a star like
Yes.
that on a team that is basically locked in,
Yeah.
like you said. That it gets a little hairy.
It used to be the whole problem with drafting Colts players back in the day because they'd be 15, 14-1, 13-2, and they're
sit
sitting
'em.
Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin
Yeah.
James, and
Yep, Reggie Wayne, all of them.
yep.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be out. I can see a good game from Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. I do think this is going to be a passing game. Yeah, like we said, Saquon's going to be monitored. And you can't bench him, unfortunately. You got to start
you gotta
Saquon.
start him.
He's
Yep.
RB1. So it's going to be a good game, though. I'm excited for this game, actually.
I like Washington a lot too.
Yeah, how about Washington side of the ball?
I like them. Why they're I don't want to say a young team because Jaden's young, but the rest of the team's kind of been there for a while. But I always like Scary Terry, and what's his name? Is this Brian Robinson in the back? He's the running
Brian
back, right?
Robinson
I always
Jr.
get them making him and Thomas mixed up, but he's doing pretty good too. They've surprised me a little bit. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they are this year.
I'm not sure anyone did.
Yeah,
Colin Cowherd did. I do watch him a little bit. He did. It's the herd.
it's
Yeah.
hurt.
He did like Washington going into the season. Scary Terry, wide receiver 5 on the year.
Yeah,
I
I was a year
do you-
too early on him.
Do you still have the game log up? Do you want to give us Washington's numbers real quick from
I'm
last
looking
game?
at Terry.
Because he struggled last game, if against the Eagles, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he had 1 catch for 10 yards on
Yeah.
only 2 targets.
This
He
is a
gave
tough
up-
matchup.
He gave up that game. I was watching that game, and he got
Gave up.
very upset.
Oh,
And he subbed himself out a lot. And literally in the fourth quarter, it was like Noah Brown and give me another wide receivers.
they got
It was like Noah Brown
oh
and,
my gosh, Zacchaeus.
De'Ami Brown and
Zacchaeus.
and Zacchaeus out there. And Terry was on the sideline. I don't
Yeah.
think he wanted to, it was bad. And then since that game, he threw a fit without throwing you know what I mean? Like if you weren't watching for Terry,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't really notice it. Like the broadcast didn't mention it. he didn't pop off on the side. I think he respectfully diva'd
Philly's defense is actually a really tough matchup. It's a top defense
as well.
So
right?
Brian Robinson Jr. is going to struggle a bit. I think Terry can have a bounce back game.
I think he will. 102, 73, 73 his last 3, and 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games.
He's again wide receiver 5 on the year so far. So I think he can bounce back. I think he'll definitely have better than 1 for 10. But Jaden Daniels, and it was on a short week too, in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, on a Thursday. Now you get a whole week prep. I think they do bounce back in it a little bit. I do think this is a competitive game. I think it's a close game. So I do see something from Jaden and McLaurin. Everyone else is kind of tough to call. Brian Robinson Jr., like you said, might get a touchdown. Zach Ertz is in concussion protocol. He might miss the game. Mm-hmm. So really on Washington side, Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. That's really it.
Past that, it's all just scraps.
Yep.
Yep.
Staying on Sunday, but going to the night game. Tampa Bay at Dallas. Baker Mayfield went nutty last week. It's indoors. It's at Jerry's World. The sun's coming through.
Don't start.
Don't
start. Is it? Do we know this for a fact? Can we look into a weather report? I'm just kidding.
Just gotta see what time the game starts.
It's a night. No, it's a night game. The sun will be down.
Game. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
The moon.
It'll be 7 o'clock.
The
moon.
The moon's coming
the
through.
Moon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Tampa Bay at Dallas. Let's start. We'll let Gabe take Dallas. So we'll start on the Tampa Bay side of the ball. What do you think for Tampa Bay? I mean, who are you starting?
Baker for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas's defense hasn't been too impressive at all this year.
We've been playing better.
We've been playing better, but I don't think apart from who do you not want to start in that on Tampa Bay right now?
I think you're starting everyone.
I think everyone, because you're catching Dallas at a good time. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't want to shy away from that.
Even though we've been playing better, we're still not a good defense.
Yeah, but you're not top. It's
we're
not
not
like you guys are top. Yeah,
no.
Playing better isn't.
Trayvon Diggs is out for the year.
And the way Baker's playing is just that whole team is just elevated right now.
Baker, Mike Evans,
Bucky Irving. Yep. Bucky's officially off the injury report.
The one I guess is a question is Cade Otton. He hasn't been doing well.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's a guy like Brenton Strange over Cade Otton.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
There's tight end Mark Andrews over Cade Otton.
Well, I think Cade Otton was doing really well when McMillan was kind of struggling, and now McMillan seems to have found his footing. Evans is back.
I was a couple of months late on McMillan. Remember when Godwin got hurt and I said Jalen McMillan? A couple months
early on him.
That's what I said. What I say?
Late.
Sorry.
But yeah, you're a little early on him.
I called Jalen McMillan. I said he's going to be a good player going forward, and he didn't show up at it. He has not been until the last 2 weeks. Now the last 2 weeks. So I think he's good for a touchdown. You had asked me a question earlier. Mm-hmm. You want to ask the pod?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Jalen McMillan, Romeo Dubs, Jaden Reed. I need to start one.
As much as I love Jaden Reed, I'd probably go Jalen McMillan.
Jaden Reed has fallen off a little bit since I traded for him. Cheers.
Plus in Green Bay, possible weather.
Plus in Green Bay.
New Orleans is an easy matchup, but
Romeo is a little touchdown dependent. He had a good game last week because he had 2 touchdowns, but he only had like 5 targets. I think Reed had 6. So I think McMillan is finally stepping up to be the second passing option.
You got to play
receiving option.
Yeah.
And it's at Dallas. It's Sunday night. It's primetime football. They're going to want to show out.
It has the highest over total of the week. Like this is the high scoring game of the week.
Yep. I somehow was able to get him off of waivers unclaimed. Well, I'll take it. I think you start McMillan. Do you start Rachaad White with Bucky Irving fully off the injury report again? He had more run last week because Bucky came in, hit back.
Rachaad White, unfortunately.
He's a no start.
I think his time might be done in Tampa.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Bucky Irving's just been awesome.
I've been pounding the table for Bucky
I think Bucky
since
Irving.
The beginning of time.
I think I sent you a trade request for Bucky at the beginning of the year.
Well, I don't think I had Bucky.
Or someone who had
it
Bucky.
Was Fabi.
I kept trying to get Bucky.
He would not come off of Bucky.
No,
Same.
I tried it too.
Yeah.
I was like, give me Bucky, man. He's like, oh, I like Bucky. You don't even start him.
Yeah. he just liked the name.
Right.
It is a great name.
But so that's, and I'll save that for our wrap up podcast in the end of the year. But, yeah, I think you go Bucky, and I think his name is Sean Tucker. I forget his first. I know his last name's Tucker. I forget his first name off the top of my head. You go with them next year.
It is Sean.
Because I don't know if Bucky's necessarily a workhorse. You probably have like a 60-40 split there. So I like those two going forward.
I have to correct myself. He is actually still on the injury report. listed as
Unbelievable.
questionable with the back/hip issue, but he had that last
gonna
week
play,
and
though.
he went off 15 for 117. I think it was last week. I know.
It's
I know.
okay. It's
I know.
okay.
I'll never forget though. It was 8/19/2002, and I said, "Man, this kid Bucky Irving's going to be a good rookie running back in the NFL."
Nice.
I've been on
What?
him that long.
Nostradamus.
I've been on him that long.
Was that his
Nostradamus.
birthday or
His
something?
birthday.
Yeah, I was like, you have it
Yeah,
up on.
yeah.
I was like, what?
So that's how long I've been on Bucky.
Jesus.
My bad. Bad joke.
Jeez.
Bad joke. I'm full of them tonight.
Nostradamus.
Yeah, full of them tonight. Dallas side of the ball. Go ahead, Cowboys fan.
Look,
Hey, look.
you know what's crazy?
If you had
Oh God.
one chance.
Okay.
Dun, dun,
Here we go.
dun,
Okay. As crazy as this may sound, I think you're starting 3 players on the side because I think there's 2 obvious. CeeDee Lamb.
Cooper Rush.
I do think you can start Cooper Rush if you
think
need a
CD.
quarterback.
CD for sure.
Yeah, CD for sure.
Like I said, Cooper's if you
My
need a
bad.
quarterback.
My bad.
Rico Dowdle. I want to talk about Rico real quick because he surprised me.
Yeah.
I did not see this coming, and I still think we draft a running back in the draft.
Yeah.
But the question now is, do we have to draft Genty? We'll worry about that later. But Rico Dowdle is quietly, he might be the RB1 the last 3 weeks.
He's not too many yards short of 1,000 already.
He's
He's
been
at
solid.
880 yards.
Yeah.
Only 1 rushing touchdown, which is wild.
Which
for
was
me.
Yeah.
last week. No, not last week.
But is it because
like
they
2
give it
weeks
to
ago.
Zeke around
At the
then?
beginning of the year.
No, it's because we don't score touchdowns.
Wow.
we kick field goals. This is why
Wow.
Brandon Aubrey's a weapon. Oh, and Brandon Aubrey. You're starting Aubrey. He's a weapon.
On the
I think Jake Ferguson's maybe start.
Jake Ferguson's let me down this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But
There's so many other tight ends.
I
Like
think against the Saints, you might want to start him.
Honestly,
the Saints
I
aren't too good against tight ends.
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
Or the Buccaneers, sorry.
I
Same
think-
division.
Same
I think
division.
every other tight end we mentioned, though, I'd rather start him over Jake Ferguson. And this is coming from a Cowboys fan.
Brenton Strange.
Brenton Strange. Next week, I'm gonna come in here and be like, Brenton Strange.
I'm sure he's gonna do. I'm sure he's gonna do well.
You need a hit of Strange.
Oh God. Yeah, we could put that on there.
Strange.
I'll never forget. It was June 14th, 1998, and I was like, "Man, Rico Dowdle's gonna be a great 5th-year running back."
Rico
in the
Dowdle was
NFL.
born in 1998.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez, how is he 4 years older than Bucky? You feel like he just started this year.
yeah, he's 5th season already.
This is his 5th year.
Yeah,
I feel like this is his 2nd or 3rd.
isn't that wild?
That is wild. But I like Rico Dowdle. I think he's a starting running back, which is you know what sucks? I have such a stacked team in one of my other leagues. I can't start Rico Dowdle because I have Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
And then
not over those two guys.
I had David Montgomery, but on my bench I already had Trey McBride because I have Brock Bowers. It's like and then I have CeeDee Lamb, T Higgins, and Nico Collins.
Okay,
Like, who do I sit?
So
I
okay.
can't. I gotta sit Rico.
You Trey McBride and who did you say?
Brock Bowers.
Oh,
If he got more touchdowns, you could start Rico, but he's just his yardage is the only thing he's got.
He's been, you know what? He's solid in PPR too. Like he gets some catches.
did McBride score a touchdown last week?
No, he still
He's
hasn't.
still touchdown.
They tried to give it to him at the 2 with the little shuttle, like the little Travis
How
Kelce
crazy.
shuffle pass.
He
He
gets
didn't get
close to
it.
the record for most receptions without a touchdown.
He has it right now.
Oh, does he? Okay.
But
That
if
is
if he
nuts.
doesn't catch a touchdown, he has the right. He beat Deontay
Yeah.
Johnson.
That is so
Uh,
crazy.
but-
Deontay Johnson. Yeah, he never
but-
gets in the end zone either.
He won't for the rest of the year either.
I'm really scared of this matchup because one, I have CeeDee Lamb in one league, but then I'm playing CeeDee Lamb in another, and I can't root against a Cowboy. Mike Evans is my kryptonite.
Mm.
I feel like every time I play Mike Evans, this guy goes off. So I'm hoping he went off last week, and I'm hoping the Cowboys double team him because I'm playing him against John. And I kid you not, Mike Evans has just always killed me, and I'm so scared of that matchup right now. I feel like there's gonna be so many points, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping we double team him, and because Trayvon Diggs is out, Deron Bland's probably gonna follow him, but Mike Evans is due. I feel like there's a storm coming. Him and CeeDee Lamb, I feel like those two are gonna go off this week.
You were playing no other wide receivers for the Cowboys. No Brandon Cooks, no Jalen Tolbert. Correct?
No, they're shots in the dark.
Yeah. And they've not even been good shots in the dark.
Nope. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all I'm playing
That's it.
from the Cowboys.
I think just CD and Rico. That's it. And Brandon Aubrey.
Cooper Rush is only like if you have a 2-quarterback league, because it's a good matchup. Tampa Bay just allowed.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert had a decent game, but I think Tampa Bay is like bottom 10 allowed points to quarterbacks. So Cooper Rush isn't bad.
It's a primetime game. I think it's going to be high scoring, but I think it's not going to be one of those where you're taking a shot at these lower end guys.
No.
I think it's just going to be a lot of points from the start.
It's semis. You gotta play your guys.
It's a lot of points from the stars, I think, in this one.
Well, you go to your mate, and they're two pretty good stars,
right?
CD and Mike Evans, right? Two pretty good guys to throw to. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good game to watch in general. It'll be a fun Sunday night football game.
Plus, if we win out and Washington loses out, we get in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
I know. I hate it.
That is crazy to say.
We just went from like a top 10 pick to now we're gonna be like around 15, 16 or something. I hate it. I hate it.
It's terrible that we're in the same boat as his team.
No.
It's great. It's great.
Well, you guys can still win your division because your division is
I
weird.
saw another weird stat. It was, I think, in the last 22 years, the Niners have either not made the playoffs or made the NFC Championship. We're boom or bust.
There's no way.
I saw another one today that you guys told me to look, and I started looking up some weird stuff.
There's no way.
Yeah, if you think about our playoff runs, we've either made the NFC Championship and lost, or we haven't made the playoffs at all.
Well, you saw the thing that Chris sent me. I think I told you about it.
What?
Where it was Alex Smith. Was it Alex Smith? It was Colin Kaepernick, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy through the first, 73 starts or something. They all had the same record.
Yep.
They all made it to the Super Bowl.
Same close to touchdown.
And they all missed the touchdown.
You didn't share this with me.
And lost the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Through 73 games, something crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, we're like a numerology team right now with the way we are. It's kind of weird.
That's wild.
What is that called? Like numerology, but it's called. There's a name for it. Wow, I'm drawing a blank.
Sacred geometry.
Like zodiac?
Totally drawing a blank.
Like coincidence?
No. I can see. I mean,
gematria.
Oh, okay.
You heard of gematria?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you?
He probably hasn't.
No.
Good. Stay off the dark side of the web.
Yes.
This is why. Listen, I'm a football guy. I don't know. If it ain't Sports Center or NFL Network, I ain't watching
Listen,
it.
I'm a football guy. I don't know gematria.
Football's only on 5 months of the year, so.
If the draft, free agency, come on now. The combine.
This will be a fun pod to do in the off season. I do think it'll be fun. A lot to talk about.
We're gonna work a schedule out.
It'll be cool.
We'll figure it out.
It'll be cool.
Can I real quick before we end?
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara obviously hurt, not looking good. I mean, we won't know. They play Monday night, so we don't have any practice reports today. I read that those injuries can take 2 weeks, but we forget these guys are freak athletes and they have crazy medicine. Like they have the most to date medicine possible. Yep. I think he played because Alvin Kamara is tough. But that's a tough one too. Like I have Alvin Kamara in CBS, and I have a decision to make between him or Jerome Ford, because I can't wait till Monday night to see if he plays because I didn't get Kendre Miller. So if you have Kamara, don't try to be smarter than the reporters or anything that you hear. If he's questionable, if you don't hear he's off the injury report, don't start him.
All right, here's something breaking 6 hours ago. Oh. You may have seen this already.
Yeah.
Maybe not have.
Go ahead.
But they signed a running back, which makes it seem like
Kamara
won't be playing.
I did want to bring that up. That's
Edwards-Helaire to the Saints after getting cut by the Chiefs. So they're adding running back depth in the room. Which
so it doesn't look good.
Yeah. I think he doesn't play because they're already eliminated A. B, I just don't. I think if he has some sort of, if he's 80%, I don't think he goes.
He's so much of the offense, you don't want to lose that guy.
Even if I get a report like he's optimistic to play, I still might go Jerome Ford because I'm not going to risk it.
I think I would.
So I mean, it sucks, but
if they plan on bringing him back next year, I wouldn't risk it. He leads their team in receiving.
Oh, he's awesome.
Receptions, receiving yards.
Alvin Kamara's been awesome.
Rushing yards, touchdowns. I mean,
he was one guy I told everyone I'm not willing to trade because he had a great playoff.
I thought he was going to have a down year, but
he was also one guy that Gabe said I don't want to draft him anywhere.
Yeah.
And then he did, and he hated it. Every time
he also talked me off of Kyren Williams. To be honest with you, and then went and drafted Kyren Williams.
Okay, so. In my defense to you, I only drafted him in one league. And in my defense to you, you have pick number 2, and I said Kyron's not at 2; he's going in the second round.
Yeah, but that's who I want. Next year, I will not make.
Listen,
that mistake.
man, go for your guy.
Next year, if I get 2, I'm going for my guy.
Go for your guy.
I took
which would have been McCaffrey, so I'm glad I didn't pick him.
Yeah, I took Tyreek Hill at 3, and that hurt.
I don't think
Wow.
anybody really had a good. Well, I mean, besides Chase and Jefferson.
Yeah,
nobody
on the
really
front
had
end.
a solid first-round pick.
Yeah, right.
Bijan's
front
turned
end.
out to been good.
Yeah,
Saquon.
but those guys were later
Jr.
in our draft.
Yeah, they were mid to late.
Saints interim head coach Darren Rizzi said Monday that Kamara groin has been diagnosed with an abductor injury after initial medical imaging results.
Yeah, grade 1 is usually about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think he plays.
No.
I think it'll make your decision easy.
And I hope it does because I don't want to have to possibly regret not playing Kamara.
Just like possibly Redding not playing Lamar.
I'm glad I had Jerome Ford on the bench for like the last 3 weeks though.
Mm-hmm.
Just random. I just had him randomly on the bench. Don't even know why.
Good call.
So
Well,
call.
you had them because in that league, it's everybody hoards. You have to have.
yeah, we charge.
You have to have.
We charge for
The
ad
best.
drops.
Yeah. Hordes and the running backs are very
Yes.
they're at a premium in that
Yes.
league.
Well, and I just Nick Chubb. I didn't love Nick Chubb coming back.
Right.
That's
I got lucky. I got Garendo just because I happened to be first on the waiver wire list a couple weeks ago. But he was the first running back I picked up all season. I think McNichols was the other one, but then I dropped him.
yeah.
Let me ask one question, and it's a very, very dumb question, but you guys both said they're probably going to maybe limit Saquon Barkley snap count, maybe? Touches,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, last week he had probably. I don't have the number off the top of my head. It was
And
probably
the
his
Niners-
lowest snap count of the year.
And the Niners are in a must-win situation in Miami.
Oh boy.
Do you
No.
sit
No.
Saquon Barkley
No.
for Gorindio?
Maybe.
Wow.
Can we get some non-Niner fans on the pod,
Listen.
please?
Be honest, you put a running back in the Niner backfield, he's going to
I
be
know.
solid.
Right.
That's
the
what we
thing.
do.
Over Saquon?
It's what
If
we
they're
do.
it depends on touches. Because if you tell me Garendo's going to get 22 touches, which he's been around getting over lately between catches and receptions, I'll take that over 10 to 13 touches from Saquon.
He also did not practice today,
Yeah, I
but
heard.
it's Wednesday.
But he didn't practice last week, and he played, and he had a good game.
Yeah. I know the answer to that question is no for me.
Yeah.
But
You go Saquon.
it's
I
worth,
say maybe, just only if depending on touches.
Yeah. But I don't think the Eagles are going to come out and
I also
say,
am a homer, though. So
I don't
Yeah,
think the
we
Eagles
know.
are going to come out and say we're limiting Saquon. So
They're not
you
going to
won't-
say
you're
it.
not going to say
you won't
that.
know that going into Sunday,
No.
so you just got to run your guy.
But when I limit to, I like 10 to 15 carries, a couple catches. Like, yeah, I still think he still gets his
Knowing
touches.
what you know, you still start Saquon.
yeah.
Yes, you have to start Saquon.
Unless you
RB1 on the year.
Unless you got some inside information, that's the only time you're starting Garendo,
Right. Which, you know what? I guess I'll make some calls, but
right?
I probably won't be able to reach anyone.
Who do you play in that league?
I got Chris.
So, if I'm Chris, I'm calling you. Be like, yeah, man, you should start Garendo.
I got Chris, and
I think Trent Williams comes back this week too, if I remember correctly.
I heard
Is
a
it this
kind
week or next
of
week?
report that was like, when he's healthy, he'll play, but he's just not healthy right now.
He's another one where I don't know if you plan on him coming back next year. I don't think
Do
you
you
risk
send him
him the
out?
rest of the year.
Yeah, he's
Right.
probably out for
I
the
mean,
year.
we're not. Realistically, I'm not sure we're done so bad in the division. I'm not sure we make the playoffs.
Right.
anyway.
You guys have to win out, and you need the Rams to lose out because
We need the Rams and the
they
Seahawks
swept
to
you.
lose out.
Yeah, it's bad. We were really bad in the division.
Yeah. Which is weird because
Ugly.
that's usually where we dominate, and
Yes,
then
it
we're
is.
questionable outside the division. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Aaron, thank you for filling in and joining us
Thank
tonight.
you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this was
Appreciate
a lot
ya.
of fun.
Yeah, it was good.
A lot
Appreciate
of fun.
ya.
He knows his stuff, dude.
Once in a while.
You know,
Next time he comes on,
If-
we're not going to tell him the games that we're
if we,
playing.
No, don't. I'll have
if
to
we
just
prep
study
him,
all.
if we prep him, he'll
Well,
be ready.
I've been playing fantasy for what, 20 years now.
We've
I
been
mean,
20 years.
I
yeah.
might not know exactly all the players every two-step of the way, but I know fantasy. So
I was just talking about this with John at the bar on Sunday. Like, I remember I did a league, and we were in high school still, and I had to
Yeah.
fill out on a paper
Yeah.
what everyone did.
Yeah.
Like, I had to keep stats like that because
Yeah.
there wasn't platforms really
Yeah.
Good old days.
in like
that's how
2006.
when we first started. That's what it was all pen
Yep.
and paper and
We were nerds then.
yeah. Well,
Now
still
we're
are.
cooler nerds.
Yeah.
Still are. We just have better
Older
technology.
nerds,
Yeah, we're
Wiser
cooler,
nerds.
Cooler KEWL nerds.
Yeah.
KEWL. Jesus, you gave me a headache right now.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Aaron, Gabe, Al. Till next time.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
Wait,
guys.
wait. I didn't give my stat real quick.
Go ahead.
You didn't ask me how I did in my playoffs this week.
Oh, yes.
Gosh, you selfish.
I went 0-1 because I had a bye.
0-1.
0-1.
3-1.
Atta
Let's
boy.
go.
Where's the clap?
Hey. Hey, where's it at?
Yeah, good.
Let's go.
Yeah,
And
good.
the one league I lost, I could have. It still hurts me. This is how competitive I am. I should have won. I sat Devontae Smith in place of Waddle, who got a 0 because he got hurt.
Yep.
But he was having a bad game anyway. And I should have started Baker over Bo Nix. But Baker was a tough matchup. Tougher.
We thought, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so.
we thought.
But it was the league I cared about the least. So three playoff matchups this week. I'm excited. And Al's still in the league.
Yep.
Going for that championship.
Yep.
I'm done.
Till next year, sir.
Yep. I'm a one league guy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, one is enough. I that
Yeah.
Family
my
man.
time.
Family man.
Well, besides that, that's all I want. I'm willing to study for.
I got to cut a couple leagues next year, so
Yeah. Well,
I'll be down to 4 at the very most.
I think I might.
I'll do
stick
3 or
with-
4.
I
might
think I
stick
have a
with my
very
5.
laid back fantasy approach too. I don't start studying till like a week before the season starts.
Yeah, like the day up.
Yeah.
Bro,
The day of draft.
I won't throw him under the bus under the podcast, but
You
I have a
can.
funny story.
It's okay.
Like the week before the draft, Malik Neighbors, he's going to be awesome. He goes, who's Malik Neighbors?
That's right.
Nice.
That's right.
Nice. That's
Found
good.
out who he was after, but
Yeah.
Yeah, now you know, huh?
Listen, I got 4 months, 5 months of just free football mind to do whatever. Then for the month before, I'll start picking it up.
It's good to cleanse.
Remember I at the draft, I said, oh my God, I'm about to make 2 terrible picks. And it was Kamara and Neighbors.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at the time.
Yeah, you
Crazy.
said to both of them, and then
Love
they
it
both-
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neighbors.
They've both been awesome.
Yeah.
All right, my bad. Go ahead.
No,
Now you
you're
can
good.
wrap. Well, I was going to say, you could also maybe edit this part into the beginning, maybe. I don't know if that's too much work. But whatever.
Maybe.
Something
You
I like
do
to
your
say,
magic.
edit and
We'll
post
see.
because I like to say.
You do your magic.
Last time I stayed in the office to edit, and
You stayed here?
Yeah, to
Oh,
edit
man.
it, and someone came in to take the trash out, and I was like, "Hey," and he's like, "Oh," because I was sitting in the dark, and I freaked him out.
Weirdo.
That's okay.
It's easier to edit in the dark,
I get it.
believe it or not.
I get it. No, I get it.
Computer lights are hard on the eyes.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right, that's it.
Right on.
Peace.
Good luck.
Good luck, everybody. Go to that championship.